Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. Seated beside me, Boonesboro Indoor Track and Field Coach Becky Walter. That can only mean one thing. Something must have gone down on Monday that we need to talk about. There isn't even any time for Justin Bieber this week. We'll be back. Coach Walter and I will be here right after this. Stay tuned.
We are a fast lubrication facility, which means our customers are coming in and waiting on the service to get done. We use your internet service to pull up an invoice, order a part, and they ship it right to us. We also access every single vehicle manufacturer's service manuals to know how to service the vehicle. Our service at Antietam Cable is critical for fast service. My ACTV and the people down at Antietam Cable are local people. I know them, and I like to deal with people like that.
This next leg of our journey is an exciting one.
Cooking Channel is giving you more inspiring new shows by food people for food people.
Oh, that's so good.
A new network exploring ideas and flavors from around the globe.
I love cooking simple, easy Chinese food.
Cooking Channel. Stay hungry.
Don't miss all your favorite shows. Watch the Cooking Channel on Antietam Cable, Channel 127.
Premier concentration, premier confidence, premier achievement, premier martial arts, concentration, confidence, and the ability to achieve is in every child. Premier Martial Arts brings it out. Call Premier Martial Arts today to bring out the best in your child.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. We begin this week with indoor track and field, and it only seems appropriate that on February 20th, George Washington's birthday, that the Maryland County name for our first president would go to Prince George's County and come back the conquering champions of Class 1A. The Smithsburg boys did it, the Boonesboro girls did it, and Boonesboro coach Becky Walter is here with me. First off, Coach, congratulations. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Just sort of basking in the glow of the big win by the girls yesterday. The boys not too shabby either, finishing second, which was a bit of a surprise, I think, overall. And let's talk about the Smithsburg boys first, because I think before the season, when we talked a little bit about this year, maybe they got lost just a little bit. And I think Coach Ray Shriver alluded to that and said, you know, it was sort of our time to step up yesterday. And, man, they certainly did. And then on the heels of Smithsburg, Boonesboro boys not too far behind them either. And I think for you, perhaps, maybe that was the feel-good story.
Yeah, I think it was great to win for the girls. Going in, beginning of the season, we knew the girls' ultimate goal was the state title. The boys, we lost a lot of big seniors last year, and I wasn't expecting that high of a finish. But, you know, the girls surprised me last year's indoor state meet with the runner-up finish, and the boys decided to surprise me this year, so I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, 25.5 points behind Smithsburg in the standings for the Boonesboro boys. Nick Seabright wins the pole vault, and he's a guy who seemed to be just getting better and better as the season went along. So this was the culmination of a lot of hard work.
Nick's actually doing basketball as well, so he doesn't practice with us very often. He hadn't jumped in a meet since Christmas break before the region meet, so he had about a month and a half gap, hadn't vaulted at all.
Wow.
Comes into the region meet, PRs by a foot, put him in high jump. He hadn't jumped since the first meet of the season there, and PR'd by 6 inches. So if that's what he does without practice, I can't wait to see what he does come spring with practice.
Yeah, no question about that. I guess the real disappointment on the boys' side, J.R. Lowry and the shot put, I mean, it's something that I stood there and I watched. I personally could not believe that he had gotten beat, because all year long he had been so dominant, and, you know, not to beat it into the ground at all, because I know he did the best that he could, but to come up short in that one, I think it's probably just further and better motivation down the road.
Yeah, he will probably be highly motivated the next few months. And his indoor season isn't over yet. He'll be going up to New York in a few weeks for the New Balance Indoor National Championships, where he's actually ranked, I think, top 25 in the country. So that will be a real test of what he's got in him now.
For the Smithsburg boys who win the whole thing, the first ever indoor boys champion in track and field from Washington County, Luke Daniel, a very impressive day by him. I mean, he reminded me of, you know, really of a thoroughbred who goes out there and has that late running style to close at the end, because he had a lot of heart, put a lot of talent into it, but then impeccable timing in winning both the 1600 and the 3200. And to get both of those wins for Smithsburg, obviously key in them winning the whole thing, because right there was 20 points.
Yeah, his finishing kick was just phenomenal. I don't think I've ever seen him finish a race like that. And he's really kind of come into his own this year and stepped out of some shadows, and has, I mean, between cross country and indoor track, has had a remarkable year so far. His finish, the thing is, had he started his kick any sooner or any later, he wouldn't have gotten it, especially in the 2 miles. So he fought right to the very end.
Yeah, I know he was a little bit worried after the 1600, because I said congratulations to him, and he said, well, a lot of those guys didn't run in the 1600 because they're pointing for the 32, so perhaps even more impressive for him then to go out and win that 32. And I think also Chad Green with a big hand in things for Smithsburg too. He gets the school record that he wanted so badly in the 300, finishes third in that race, anchors or runs a major part in that 4x200 for Smithsburg in winning that one as well. And I think, you know, it really just showed the whole team concept for Smithsburg in winning that championship. So certainly a big congratulations to the Leopards in bringing that one home. Let's go over on the girls' side where you get that state championship. Can you exhale a little bit now, because, you know, the expectations were so great?
Yeah, I mean, it's been up and down throughout the season. We've had some injuries. We've been competing against a lot of top teams throughout the season. All these meets at HCC, you're competing against Liberty girls, who went on to win the 2A state championships, just a lot of other really good teams. So once we get down to the MVAL, the county, and the region, we kind of see where we really stand. We knew going in Western Tech out of Baltimore was going to be tough. They are the indoor defending state champs. They were right in the battle outdoors last year. Northwestern out of Baltimore City surprised us a little bit. I kind of had my eye on them throughout the season, but once things started to change around a little bit at the state meet yesterday, that kind of bumped them up. Western Tech had some injuries, and that kind of helped Northwestern. So for a little bit there, they were 2 points behind us, and it was a little too close to call.
But your team winds up scoring 108 points, wins 4 of the events, scores in all 13 of them. And let's talk about the way it all started with that 4x800. I mean, Katie Rickard, Sarah Zielinski, Michaela Grove, and Rachel Doan just go out and they do their thing. I mean, they really weren't even challenged in that race at all, the way they ran it.
And what's surprising is that Western Tech was the favorite going in. I kind of expected them to win it.
Great way to set the tone,
yeah,
huh?
That really set the tone for the team, and everybody kind of saw that we were there and we meant business.
In the 55 hurdles, Maggie Sullivan, who really had a great day all around. I mean, she was hampered a little bit in the high jump because she had to go run the 300 in the middle. That may not have won it anyway, but tough to come back for that. But then to run the 55 hurdles the way she did, gets a PR, a school record, and a state championship all in one. Not a bad deal for a sophomore, too.
Yeah, she's been working really hard all season. And in fact, the girl from North Carroll that finished second, she's lost to 5 times at least this season. So she goes in the trials and runs a PR and missed the school record by 1/100th of a second, and then comes through in the finals and gets that school record and another PR for the win. So I know she was ecstatic.
Another school record in the 55-meter dash by Abby Duncan, who wins the state championship there, 7.32 seconds.
Yeah, she was moving. She had a pretty good gap on the second place person as well. You know, she never ceases to surprise or to amaze me. I mean, every time you turn around, she's just stepping it up, and she works her butt off in practice.
Sarah Zielinski wins the 3200, but maybe you want to talk a little bit more about that 1600, where she actually sets a personal record. That one comes in second by just a small margin of victory, but again, major points scored there in both those races.
She actually set school records in both races. So we had 5 school records set for the day. The mile we knew was going to be a challenge. We knew the Perryville girl beat her at the cross-country state meet. That girl runs outdoors like a 2:18, really fast times in the 400 and the 800. And we knew there was going to be some competition, and we knew it couldn't come down to the last lap because that girl would outsprint Sarah. So she played it over some different strategies in her mind and worked some things out, and we're hoping for the best, but for her to come out and run a 6-second PR is just amazing. And then to come back and run another amazing time in the 3200.
Yeah, absolutely incredible day for Boonesboro, really all around. Smithsburg, too, on the girls' side, getting second place finishes from Kayla Hott in the shot put. Sophomore Emma Gerhold outdistancing her seated height by about 5 inches to win the pole vault there, clearing 8-6. So all around a great day, and I think, for Washington County to go in there with one indoor title all time and then come back with 2 more yesterday, so 3 added to the total. Again, congratulations to Smithsburg. Congratulations to you and both of your teams, but to the girls for the state title for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I will be back right after this. The show continues with basketball up next in just a moment.
Not enough money to pay your bills? Is bankruptcy the answer? Protect yourself and your family. Call Bodie Law, your Hagerstown legal team, for help at 888-823-1255. It's what we do for you that counts.
Injured on the job? Been denied compensation? Need money for medical bills and lost wages? Know your rights. Insurance companies have lawyers, and so should you. Protect yourself. Call Bodie Law, your Hagerstown legal team, for help at 888-823-1255. It's what we do for you that counts.
Need new toys? Then stop in to check out Brunswick's full line of billiard tables and game room furniture. For over 160 years, Brunswick has led the way in craftsmanship and design.
For all of your gaming needs and more, stop by Robbie's Billiards and Game Room Outfitters on Governor Lane Boulevard in Williamsport.
Rates are at historic lows. It's a great time to get a new mortgage.
It is. We may be able to save you thousands of dollars by refinancing your mortgage into a lower fixed rate.
Wow, is it also a good time to buy a new home?
Absolutely. At Central, we offer a simple way to get a home loan. First, we're going to give you a same-day credit decision. Secondly, we'll get you the best price. And third, we're going to close your loan on time.
That's right. Whether you're looking to refinance or purchase, it's a great time to get a mortgage at Central Bank.
Get a free mortgage review by calling John or Kelly at Central Bank today.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. We continue with our featured basketball game. On Friday night, it was St. Maria Goretti's boys with a record of 18-11, going on the road to Williamsport to take on the Wildcats, who were looking to even their record at 500 before the regular season came to an end. With a victory, they'd be 11-11. Williamsport had dropped its last game, but had won its previous 3. Goretti came in winning 3 of its last 4, but would height disparity factor into this one? Goretti with 4 players 6'4" or taller, Williamsport with exactly 0. And height was an issue early on. 6' Tanner Myers rejected by 6'8" Martin Gebbin, who then finds Tyrus Fleetwood in the open court to give Goretti a 2-0 lead 39 seconds in. A minute and a half later, Gavin Rajapalai fed Gebbin on the left block, and the Lithuanian did the rest, drawing the contact and scoring the basket to up the margin to 5. Next Gales trip, they made it 7-0 when Thomas Blake finished Fleetwood's pass. After 6 misses and more than half the opening quarter gone, Brandon Jackson's three-pointer finally got Williamsport on the board and cut the margin to 4. The score remained the same 90 seconds later when the long arm of Gebbin denied Sterling Christie, making the Wildcats 0 for 9 from 2-point range. Gebbin then worked free on the offensive end to push the Goretti lead to 6, with all 9 points having come in the paint. Tyler Wise's steal produced the Wildcats' first deuce when Christie laid in Alex Alshire's feed with 1:32 left in the period. Goretti then patiently and expertly worked 54 seconds off the clock on its final possession of the stanza, completing the trip successfully on Shea King's jumper that gave the Gales an 11-5 lead after 1. 1:56 into quarter number 2, Fleetwood's bucket answered a Wise free throw and reestablished Goretti's largest lead of 7. Jackson's second 3 of the night brought Williamsport to within 13-9 with 4:50 left in the second. 3 points that Kevin Proctor would get right back for Goretti +1 57 seconds later. After a Gebbin foul shot stretched the Goretti lead to 9, Christie converted off some crisp Williamsport passing to make it 18-11. Christie then followed another Gebbin free throw with another basket of his own on the interior to pull the Cats within 6 a minute and a half before intermission. And Sterling wasn't finished. 38 ticks later, his conventional three-point play reduced the Goretti advantage to 19-16. But the Gales would get 2 back in the quarter's waning moments on Rajapalai's lay-in that closed the half with Goretti in front by 5. a lead that Williamsport chopped to 1 in the third quarter's opening minute and 37 seconds. But Blake's banker bumped it back to 3 at 23-20 before Wise followed a pair of Jackson foul shots by muscling in a tough left-hander good for Williamsport's first lead of the game with 3:32 to go in the third. Next time down, the Wildcats used up 1 minute and 4 seconds to set up Christie's jumper that made it 26-23 Williamsport, and there was more Christie and more Williamsport to come in the quarter's final 35 seconds as the Wildcats punctuated a 12-2 run and emerged with a 28-23 lead, and added to it the first time they touched the ball in the fourth. Goretti scored its first point in nearly 7 minutes when Blake made a free throw moments later. The teams then exchanged 2 free throws each, setting up Alshire to set up Jackson perfectly for a 34-26 Williamsport advantage with just 4:19 remaining. While Jackson couldn't finish his three-point play opportunity, Gebbin made the most of his 16 seconds later to inch the Gales back to within 5. 2 Goretti foul shots and 1 by Williamsport made it 35-31 when Fleetwood drilled a 3 to slice a once comfortable 8-point Wildcat lead to just a point with 2:04 left. 34 seconds later, Yannick Zanfak's 3-ball vaulted Goretti back to the lead by 2 with 90 seconds on the clock. Following a missed Williamsport 3, Proctor knocked down 2 clutch free throws with 31.8 seconds showing to make it a 2-possession game. The Wildcats would get no closer as St. Maria Goretti ended the game on a 14-1 run to pull out a hard-fought 40-35 victory. And hard-fought often translates to, as TLC sang, unpretty. After all, the team that won scored but 2 points in the entire third quarter, bridged quarters 3 and 4 by going scoreless for a span of 6 minutes and 56 seconds by missing 7 straight shots from the floor and committing 6 turnovers. Yet that's the team that won. The team that lost missed 4 shots from the field, turned the ball over twice, and made just 1 of 2 free throws in its last 7 possessions, proceeding to be outscored 14-1 the final 4:03. Given that, it's really not surprising that just 4 players scored for Williamsport. 77% of the Wildcats' points came from Christie with a game-high 15 and Jackson with 12. Goretti got a double-double from Gebbin, who scored a dozen and grabbed 16 rebounds. Gebbin's length proved to be a factor defensively, too, as he recorded 4 blocked shots. Amazingly, the Gales had been 1 for 14 from three-point range before making their last 2 that essentially won the game. The win is Goretti's 19th. The Wildcats fail in their attempt to end the regular season at 500, but the playoffs await. And I'm talking playoff draws right after this.
Rates are at historic lows. It's a great time to get a new mortgage.
It is. We may be able to save you thousands of dollars by refinancing your mortgage into a lower fixed rate.
Wow, is it also a good time to buy a new home?
Absolutely. At Central, we offer a simple way to get a home loan. First, we're going to give you a same-day credit decision. Secondly, we'll get you the best price. And third, we're going to close your loan on time.
That's right. Whether you're looking to refinance or purchase, it's a great time to get a mortgage at Centra Bank.
Get a free mortgage review by calling John or Kelly at Centra Bank today.
Not enough money to pay your bills? Is bankruptcy the answer? Protect yourself and your family. Call Bodie Law, your Hagerstown legal team, for help at 888-823-1255. It's what we do for you that counts.
Injured on the job? Been denied compensation? Need money for medical bills and lost wages? Know your rights. Insurance companies have lawyers, and so should you. Protect yourself. Call Bodie Law, your Hagerstown legal team, for help at 888-823-1255. It's what we do for you that counts.
Welcome back to the show. More hoops now. The playoff draws for basketball were held Sunday, and now our county teams know what they're up against, starting with the girls in 3A West. South Hagerstown gets the 5 seed in a first-round home game against 12th-seeded Tuscarora. The Rebels, at 15-7, own a season-opening win over the 3-17 Titans this year. Tay Stewart, if you remember, exploded for 36 points in that first meeting. The winner will take on either 4th-seeded Seneca Valley or 13th-seeded Einstein in the quarters. The ball didn't exactly bounce favorably for North Hagerstown. The Hubs get the 11 seed and a road trip to 6th-seeded Linganore to start. North has won 14 games to Linganore's 10, and one of the Hubs' recent wins was over defending region and state champion Frederick. The winner will go to 3rd-seeded Urbana. In 2A West, Williamsport, winners of 5 of its last 7, gets no favors in drawing the 12 seed, which means a trip to 5th-seeded 15-win Walkersville. The 4-seed Middletown awaits the winner. In 1A West, in the East Sectional, Smithsburg earns an opening round bye as the top seed. The Leopards will host the winner of the 4-5 game, either Manchester Valley or Brunswick. Smithsburg owns 1 win over the Mustangs and 2 over the Railroaders during the regular season. Third-seeded Clear Spring at 5-17 will host 11-11 Boonesboro, the 6th seed. The Warriors own 2 regular season wins over the Blazers. The winner plays 2nd-seeded North Carroll in a sectional semifinal. Hancock is the 6th seed in the West and plays at 3rd-seeded Mountain Ridge. Incidentally, Northern Garrett is the defending region champion, and Fort Hill is the West Sectional's number 1 seed. As for the boys in 3A West, South Hagerstown, the defending region champ, winners of 20 straight and without a loss since December 7th, grabs the number 1 seed and the first-round bye that comes with it. The Rebels will host the winner of the 8-9 game between Seneca Valley and Damascus. North Hagerstown has a better record at 12-9, but worse luck as 9-12 Rockville gets the 5 seed and the home game that goes with it. Heading into Tuesday's regular season finale, the 12th-seeded Hubs had won their last 4. In 2A West, 10-12 Williamsport ends up with the 11 seed and a meeting with 6th-seeded Catoctin for the 3rd time this season. The Wildcats beat Catoctin by a combined 43 points in the previous matchups. 3rd-seeded Poolesville awaits the winner. In 1A West in the East Sectional, Smithsburg with a record of 17-5 is the top seed with a first-round bye to go with it. The Leopards have won 4 of their last 5 and face the winner of the 4-5 game between North Carroll and a Boonesboro team that's only won 5 games but owns wins in its last 2. 3rd-seeded Clear Spring with a mark of 12-10 will host an 8-14 Manchester Valley team that it lost to by 1 point back on January 17th. The winner goes to 2nd-seeded Brunswick in the sectional semis. In the West Sectional, 7-15 Hancock as the 3rd seed hosts 6th-seeded and 5-17 Northern Garrett. Fort Hill is the number 1 seed on that side. So, let the games begin. The March to March at the RAC at UMBC and the Comcast Center at the University of Maryland tips off on Friday. I'm back after this with 2A Indoor State Track and Field and County Wrestling Tournament show and tell in just a moment.
Few relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
See all the newest Michelin tires at T&R Tire Center, 117 West Franklin Street in Hagerstown.
Need new toys? Then stop in to check out Brunswick's full line of billiard tables and game room furniture. For over 160 years, Brunswick has led the way in craftsmanship and design.
For all of your gaming needs and more, stop by Robbie's Billiards and Game Room Outfitters on Governor Lane Boulevard in Williamsport.
Proficient Air is a family-owned and operated residential and commercial heating and air conditioning business run by my husband Jim and me. We pride ourselves on the people we employ since it's our incredible customer service that doesn't just set us apart, it's what makes us successful and satisfies our customers. At Proficient Air, we don't pretend the answer is always to replace. Repairing is often an option and will only ever sell you what you really need. We've won local and industry awards, but again, what makes me proudest is when somebody's happy enough with our work to tell their neighbor about Proficient Air.
Welcome back to the show. At the Indoor State Track and Field meet on Monday, in Class 2A, what was arguably the most impressive individual county performance was turned in by Williamsport's Evan Hardy. Hardy handily captured the 1600 by more than 16 seconds and made that look exceptionally easy. Then he went out without being the favorite and erased leads by both the number 1 seed and the runner who beat him for the cross-country title in the fall to pull away for a 9+ second victory. Neither of the guys he fended off had run the 1600 like Hardy had, yet neither had the gold medals Hardy had at the end of the day either. Williamsport wrestling coach Mike Rektorovic told me before the season started that even though his Wildcats probably wouldn't be favored at this year's county tournament, the 3-time defending champions wouldn't just give that title away. 3 months later, despite Williamsport and heavily favored North Hagerstown advancing 9 wrestlers each to the championship round, he was right. Williamsport wasn't expected to make it 4 straight, nor was his wrecking crew going to go down easy. Wildcat freshman Barry Lozer served notice in bout number 1, outscoring 2011 state qualifier Mikey Tilbury of North Hagerstown 6-5 to pull off a Williamsport upset at 106. Kenny Smith kept the Cats rolling, winning the 113-pound match by pinning South Hagerstown's Tyler Moser. Then undefeated Hubs phenom Brendan Colbert managed to slow the Wildcats' roll a bit, putting on a clinic at 120 and getting North on the board by earning a technical fall over the Wildcats' Brian Davis. At 126, North sophomore Gene Balsita got the best of Williamsport freshman St. John Shoup to inch the Hubs closer. George Ardinger got 6 points back for Williamsport by pinning Smithsburg's Kean Roberts in the 132-pound match. Then at 138, it was former Wildcat DeAndre Landry, now of North Hagerstown, versus 3-time county champ Killian Baker of Williamsport. Landry and Baker waged war into a 4th overtime before Baker's escape 8 minutes and 18 seconds into the epic clinched his 4th county title and another Wildcat victory. North added a win to its total at 145 when Ryan Hartsock defeated South's Terry Chapman. At 152, Smithsburg's Chase Scott raised his record to 32-1, earning a major decision over Boonesboro's Devon Clark. At 160, Williamsport's Zach Shoemaker aimed to keep his unblemished record intact and notch his 4th county title in the process. It took just a minute and 25 seconds for Shoemaker to get it done, pinning South's Michael King to become the 12th 4-time county champion in history. At 170, Austin Keetle had a chance to give the Wildcats a firm grasp on the team title, but the Hubs' Kenneth Burrs would have none of it, pinning Keetle in the 2nd period. North senior captain Connor McCose followed at 182, outlasting Smithsburg's Travis Leopold 4-1 to push the Hubs closer to victory with 3 bouts remaining. Tony Rosario of North hung in till the bitter end at 195 against South's Chris Collins, but Collins prevailed 1-0. At 220, a Rebel again got the better of a Hub when Marquill Holt stayed unbeaten at 19-0 by downing a Mont Hawkins 4-2. With North holding a slim edge over Williamsport, it all came down to the final match. Wildcat Zach Nally needed a major decision or better against 2011 state qualifier Aaron Rowland of South to win it for the Wildcats. The heavyweights went toe-to-toe into a 3rd overtime before Rowland pulled out a 2-1 victory that secured the team championship for North, 196.5 to 192. The 4.5-point margin of victory was the 3rd smallest in the 22-year history of the tournament. It was the 7th time the Clyde Downs Trophy has gone to reside on Pennsylvania Avenue and the 1st time since 2008. So, the dream season scenario that Coach Greg Slick talked about before the year sees North check another goal off the list, and the challenges only get bigger as 11 wrestlers representing North Hagerstown and 11 representing Williamsport now head up the contingent of 34 from the 5 county schools bound for the region tournaments this Friday and Saturday. The 2A 1A West tourney involving Williamsport, Smithsburg, and Boonesboro is at Mountain Ridge, and the 4A 3A West tournament, in which qualifiers from North Hagerstown and South Hagerstown will compete, is at Sherwood High School. The top 4 finishers in each weight class advance to states March 2nd and 3rd at the University of Maryland. So good luck to all of our county wrestlers, and good luck to the Washington County North Stars in the 1A West Region Hockey Final. That's Friday night in Rockville against Montgomery Blair. It was action gate to wire this week, and next week likely won't be any different. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Inside.
Hey, your sisters and your brothers, your haters and your lovers, you gotta get up in the streets.